Welcome to another Advanced Manufacturing Media webinar. Our presentation today is Enhancing and Enabling Productivity with an Open Architecture Control. Hello, I'm Mike Anderson, Senior Editor at Manufacturing Engineering. Before the presentation begins, I'd like to provide some background on what we will be doing today. Our sponsor today is Okuma America Corporation. Okuma is a world leader in CNC, computer numerical control to you and me, machine tools and CNC controls. For more than a century, Okuma has pursued excellence, leveraging master craftsmanship to create innovative technologies that break new ground. Our presenter is Okuma America Corporation Controls Product Specialist, Brad Klipstein. An electrical engineer with experience in system, design, and instrumentation engineering, Brad's background includes providing technical and training support to engineering, production, sales, and service personnel. He has a broad-based understanding of a variety of CNC machine tool control types and brands. During the presentation, you will be able to ask questions using the Q&A box that appears at the right of your screen. Time permitting, your questions will be answered following the presentation. If time runs out before we can get to all of the questions, we will make sure the answers are emailed to you. Another housekeeping point. When viewing webinars over the Internet, it's possible for the quality of the presentation to be affected by the type of Internet connection you have, the amount of total bandwidth available to you, and the number of people accessing that bandwidth at the time. If you experience difficulty, please let us know by way of that Q&A box. If you have any questions about any other aspect of our webinars, please email me at manderson@sme.org. I'll rejoin you after the presentation with a few concluding remarks. Now here's Brad Klipstein of Okuma America. Brad.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Hello to everybody who's on the other line right now. Thanks for your time today. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn a little bit more about Okuma OSP controls. So we've been doing this a long time. We've been making our own controls since about 1963. Today I'm going to take you through some of the special benefits of our control, why we have made our own controls, some of the different examples of what we do on a day-to-day basis with our control and our control platform. He said it's an open architecture control design, so I'll show you some examples of that and some more different things about what makes our control really unique in our market. So let's go ahead and get into the topics that we're going to cover for today. Topics that we're going to cover is the design principle, the mechatronics, the core engineering principles of how we actually designed and made our control. We're going to talk about that for a little bit. We'll talk about the advantages of what that provides, freedom to innovate, all these different things that we can do just because of this open architecture control base. I'll talk about some key operational features, what kind of sets us apart from our competition. I'll talk about OSP Sweet, which is one of the newest control features that was produced in late 2014. I'll talk about EcoSweet, which is our energy-saving technology. And then I'll conclude with the Okuma App Store, which you can access by just going to www.myokuma.com. So first up is the design principle. We've designed our control system based on that core principle of mechatronics. And if you don't know what mechatronics is, it's the integration of mechanical engineering and electrical engineering. And we didn't only design the software, but Okuma actually designed the encoders, the motors, the drives, and the software. So all of that works collectively together to really provide a very sound machine. And like I said, we've been doing that since 1963, so we've been doing that for a long time. And because of that, that principle, that design principle, this allows us to deliver our customers numerous added benefits that maybe our competition can't provide. examples like you can increase productivity, do different things with your manufacturing process right from the get-go. And like I said, we've designed everything from start to finish. So what are some of those advantages that we provide to you because we do design all of those things? Well, that allows us to be a true one-source responsibility for all of your CNC machining needs. So all of these parts that we've made together, we've done for the past 50 years, right? So all of these different control platforms that we've produced, all of this software, all of these mechanical components, we have the ability to go back and fix if anything is wrong. So if you have controls that are 20, 30 years old, we can still go back and we can provide you with different components and software to help fix or bring those up to speed with current times. So, I mean, if you needed tape code, if you still wanted to use that, we could go back and provide you with that as well, which I don't think you'd want to do, but we have the ability to do that. So that's just one of the main features of why we have done what we have with our control system and with our machines in general, is providing our customers with support throughout the entire process. We're not relying on any other builders or manufacturers to solve the problems that we see on a day-to-day basis. We're able to provide self-tuning drives. So we've got functions like our servo navi for tuning all of these different servos and drives that we have. We can provide that longevity of support like I talked about. We've shipped over 195,000 controls throughout the years, and like I said, we still provide support to earlier models. The freedom to innovate. So because we are this one source, we're able to provide these unique services and platforms that are better catered to you, better catered to our customers. We've got less limitations for our software capabilities and improvement. So if I wanted to just go back and add another 1,000 parameters, I'd just go back to our software team that we keep in a cold, dark room back in the corner of the office. I'd tell them, hey, I want another 1,000 parameters. And they could, give that to me in a matter of, probably half the time that it would take if I would have to use someone else's control. If I bought someone else's control, I would be limited by that. So I have all these resources, here that I can use. So we're able to respond much more quickly to the needs of our customers, and we're able to grow and develop without, these certain limitations that other controls, would have. So that's just a couple of examples of how we're able to innovate. But we have based our control platform on this open architecture concept, and this allows us to connect more easily to all these external devices, all of your peripheral equipment, post-process gauge systems, anything that you want. We do provide you with a nice, beautifully made machine tool, but that's not going to, make your whole process. You have work holding, you have chucks, you have different devices that you're always going to need to connect to solve, the whole manufacturing process from A to Z. So by developing a more open architecture control system, we're able to provide you with easier interfaces that maybe some of our competition cannot. Let's talk about a few of the operational features that our OSP controls provide. So certain things that I see as some of our differentiators are our quick edit feature, so you can edit things on the fly. You have side-by-side editing, so if I've got multiple turrets, I can separate those programs into left side, right side, and then, combine them at the end just for making editing a little bit more easy. I've got a mid-auto manual mode. I've got sequence restart mode, which I'll show you a video here of in a second to kind of give you a better representation of what that is. I've got 3D graphic simulation function. I can view things in a cross-sectional display, a translucent display. However I want to view all this information, I have the ability to do that. I've also got a conversational programming package, which we call AOT, or Advanced One Touch. I've got numerous intelligent technologies that can be available in your control that can provide anything from machining navi for chatter control to collision avoidance to prevent those costly collisions in your machine. So I've got all of these different functions and features that you can realize right there at the control. So I did talk about that mid-auto manual function. I've got a short video here to describe what this actually is. So I set this up on one of our lathes here. So this is a P300L control, and I'll demonstrate the sequence restart in the mid-auto manual mode for this specific video. So you see we're just rough turning this part that you see on the screen there. I'm going to manually interrupt the cycle, so I'm going to go into a feed hold state. Stop the tool. I select this mid-auto manual button, and what that allows me to do is jog away from the cut any direction I want while I'm still in cycle. Okay? So stop the spindle. I select the sequence restart button, and when I do that, after I've performed whatever task I needed to, that tool returns back into the cut, but it maintains all those modal commands. So after I've done that, literally the only thing I have to do is press cycle start, and it goes right back into my process. So if I have to check an insert, maybe I'm drilling into a hole and I just need to check if my insert's all right, I would go into that mid-auto manual mode, jog back out of that hole, check my insert, make sure it's good, and I can return right back into that cut or drilling that hole. So this is just showing you with the machine there as well, manually jogging the axes. And that's a standard feature of all of our controls, is that sequence restart and the mid-auto manual mode. They work in lab cycles as well. So this I'm showing you on a lathe, but if I had done this on a mill and I had drilled 50 holes, or I had to drill 50 holes, and I was on hole 49, and I wanted to check my insert or my tip. So I go mid-auto manual mode, jog that thing out, and check it. Okay, it's good. But to return back into that cycle, I wouldn't want to wait, 5 minutes to drill those 49 holes over again and air cut them. So with this function, I can go back into that 49th hole, or what if they were tapped? I wouldn't be able to do that. So I can go back into that 49th hole and continue right along with my cycle. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about today is OSP Sweet, and this is the newest generation of intelligent CNC technology that Okuma has provided. Basically what you're doing here is providing flexibility through our customization. I'm going to show you our maintenance and manuals functions. I'm going to show you all of these productivity enhancement tools that we've created in this software package. I've got widgets for viewing vital machining information, but those are just a few of the things that make this OSP Sweet software package really unique to our control. So this is the OSP Sweet home screen. This is what you're going to see if you have OSP Sweet on your machine, and this is coming on our newer model machines. So when you walk up to the control, this is what you're going to see. This is the home screen, and if you direct your eyes towards the middle of the screen, that's going to be your machining status information. So if you see the green lamp in the middle, that's letting me know I'm in MDI mode. You'll see if you're in auto, MDI, or manual mode, you see a clock and a date in the middle, and then you see your NC status lamps directly above that. So I've got my feed hold, alarm state, what have you, letting me know the status of my machine. So that's really what that middle section is for. If you look off to the left and the right-hand sides there, you see those icons. There's 4 on the left and 3 on the right. Those are shortcuts that can take you to anything from manuals, calculators, any kind of remote desktop functions that we have. And I can put those on any page, any viewable page that I'll show you here in a second. But those are just quick little shortcuts that you can access just by touching the screen there. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see that icon on the far left that looks like a machine. So that's going to take you to your run screens. I've got a maintenance function, which I'll show you here in a little bit. I've got manuals included with my OSP Sweet package. And then I've got the ability to customize and personalize all of these different pages right here at the control. At the top right-hand corner, you see those grayed out icons at the top. I talked about our intelligent technologies a couple minutes ago. So if you see that grayed out icon at the top there, that's just going to let you know that this specific intelligent technology is enabled on this control. So you'll see the thermo-friendly concepts, our CAS or collision avoidance system, MacNavi, etc. up there at the top right. And then the last thing is off to the bottom right-hand side, you'll see A, B, and C selections. Those are your user selects or operator select, whatever have you. With OSP Suite, we've got a couple different monitor sizes that we use for our machines. So you've got a 15-inch screen and then a 19-inch screen as well. So the biggest difference you're going to see here in that red box, that's the 15-inch, and then my 19-inch screen modes are at the bottom there. So the biggest difference you're going to see here is the widgets. And the widgets you'll see in the red box is that box in the middle right there. It's like a load monitor. With the 15-inch screen, since I don't have enough space to display all these, I have to put my widgets in the middle of the screen. And these widgets, again, are just displaying vital machine information. I'll talk to you about what those widgets do here in a little bit. But this, I just wanted to show you that there's basically different modes that you can put our 19-inch screen in. Since we do have that extra landscape, we're able to really fill up the screen however you want. So I've got a full screen mode, A mode, B mode, just for the different widgets that are located on the screen. So I've got the ability to customize that if I like. Operator select. So I said off to the bottom right, I've got the ability to select my different operators or users just by touching A, B, or C. So all of these different operators, which I'll show you, can select all of their different run screens, their parameter pages, their tool data page. They can put all these different widgets and shortcuts and different things on all of these pages how they want to view it. So all of you guys are going to be different. They're going to want to see different things on all of these different pages that I'll show you. So we've given you the ability to customize and personalize all of these different pages, and it's very easy to change. So that machine icon takes you to the run screen. So from the home screen, if you would hit that machine icon, that's just going to take you to your run screen or to your parameter pages, what have you. So with this setup, you see I've got two horizontal widgets at the top of my run screen and then a vertical off to the side. And I said that you could customize and you can change all this and you can put whatever widgets you like on all of these different pages, but this is just the run screen that I'm showing you right here. Next up is this maintenance monitor. I think this is a really unique function for OSP Suite. I think people are really going to love it. But there's two types of maintenance monitoring functions included in this specific feature. I've got a routine maintenance and a daily inspection. So I've got these two tabs. Once I hit that maintenance button, this will pop up. So if you see that daily inspection tab that I have there, I've got a list of all these different tasks that are included with this specific machine model. So this is going to change from machine type to machine type. So I've got all these tasks that need to be performed every time I step up to the machine. So I go through these tasks. After I, as an operator, have completed all these tasks, I hit that green inspection execute button, and that's going to update the timestamp. So that'd be great information to shoot back to, your supervisor's desk or the plant manager's desk, letting him know that you've completed those tasks for the day. I can also add my own tasks to this list. So that's the daily inspection tab. I've also got a periodical maintenance tab. So this is basically providing you with a reminder that you have to perform some specific operation or task whenever this time interval has elapsed. So I've got all of these lists, again, included with OSP Suite. These are standard lists. So if you see in this specific periodical maintenance tab, I've got that red progress interval and the remaining life on that is 0 hours. So there's some task I need to perform on that. I need to clean something. So I scroll down to that, and I see an I button over there. I don't know what that is. Let's click on that. After I click on that, I'll show you that there's a manuals function built into this. So as an operator, I got some alarm on the screen letting me know that I have a maintenance task I need to perform. This thing pops up, and I see red there. So I go and I click that I button because I have no idea what that is. Well, I've got manuals included with this OSP Sweet Package letting me know after I hit that I key what task I need to perform, where that component is located inside the machine, and what I need to do to perform that task. So right in here, I've got, a great tool that saves me time. I'm not going across the shop floor, grabbing a big heavy book, bringing it over, flipping through the pages, trying to find what I need to. It's all right here integrated into the control. So after I've performed that task, I hit that red button that you see there, letting the control know that I have performed that task, and then it wipes away that time interval. So that's what this periodical maintenance does. It lets you know when that life of that component has expired and that you need to do something, you need to perform some task. And again, if you see in the top right corner of that, I see a change mode button with a little circle. That's going to let me edit or add new maintenance tasks to this list, and I can organize and view those how I deem necessary. So that's the maintenance monitor. I said there's manuals included with OSP Sweet, and these manuals again are going to change based on the machine type and model that you have as well. But I have a list of manuals included that I can go in and pull up right here at the control. I said I didn't need to have a big heavy book out here at the control or try to look things up online, what have you. I've got everything built into the control right here. I've also got a search function included in this because if I just had these manuals and I had to go through the pages anyway, that's not saving me any time. Without this search function, I wouldn't really need this anyway. So that search, that keyword search is great for these included manuals. And I can also add my own manuals and search for those as well. I've got a PDF viewer built in to my control here as well. But that's the manuals function. The next thing we're going to talk about is the selection screen. So I said you have the ability to customize and personalize all these different pages. I've got different users or operators that can set up, this control all of these different pages how they want to. So this is how you're going to do that. You're going to go to that selection screen that you see from the home screen. And once you hit that, you'll see this page pop up. So when you look at this, on the left-hand side, you're going to see your viewing area. This is what it's going to look like after you've made your changes. So basically here on that left side, you see the home screen, but I can also click on my run screen, my program operation, parameter, MacMan, what have you. All these different pages that I have included, I can change the layout of all these pages, and I can throw all of these different widgets and shortcuts in all these highlighted locations. So if you see what I have here is that green box that's highlighting a plus sign there. If I would click one of those shortcuts that you see off to the right-hand side, if I would click that green arrow key, that would import that shortcut to that location that I have highlighted on the left-hand side. And I can do the same thing with widgets. So all of these different pages, I just import or remove all of these different items that I want to on all of my different pages. So this allows me to personalize all these pages based on operator A, B, C. Maybe you have a setup person, an administrative person, and then a line leader or a supervisor. So I can set up this and view all of these in different manners. But that's what the selection screen does. These shortcuts that I talked about, I've got a few key ones, a Windows calculator built in. I also have a technical calculator, servo navi, machining navi, 5-axis auto tuning, and again, I can throw these on any of these different pages and view these however I want to. Here's my technical calculator. So bringing this up, I can calculate turning, cutting speeds. I can do surface finish roughness, milling and end milling. I can do just common unit conversion, feed rates, drilling speeds, anything with this handy dandy calculator that I can, again, throw on all of these different pages. The PDF viewer, like I talked about, I have the ability to keyword search through all these different things. Got a hand tool, I can zoom, rotate, like I said, search, bookmark all this different data. I've also got a 3D display, and then a close button right there in number 8. A 3D model viewer, so I can view STL files right here from the control as well. I can zoom in, I can box zoom in on certain areas, I can view a translucent display of all these different files as I want. It is a touch screen monitor, so I can drag and rotate this thing however I want to. So basically I'd throw all of these files into my control via USB or network, however you want to do that, and then I can have my setup guys view all of this from one of the widgets that I'll show you here in a little bit. So you could view this file, this STL file, right there from the control. Another widget that we have here is the load bar. So this is going to show you different axial load depending, again, on the machine model that you have. These are going to change, right? So you're going to see different axes depending on which machine you have. But this is going to show you the actual real-time load up to 300%. It also has a peak hold function that's going to display the cumulative maximum load value as well. But again, this is just something that I can throw on any of my different pages so that I could know the load on each of my axes whenever I want. I also have another widget for displaying the load history as well. The next one I'll talk about is MacMan Monitor. So if you're familiar with our controls, our OSP controls, we have a machining management system here that lets you know the run time, the operating time of your machine, actual cut time. So this is just something that you can monitor, again, from all of these different pages. If you wanted to walk up to the control and see why you weren't operating for an hour, you could see that here from this this specific widget. It would let you know when you're in alarm state and when you're actually cutting. So a great way to really monitor all of your machines on the floor. And this is some information that you can export and view from your desk upstairs in your office. It's just going to take these files in an XML file format, spit these out so that you can view these from your desk up in your office. That'd be great information to export from this specific widget. I've got a cycle time monitor. So I can have 4 different cycle time monitors being run simultaneously, basically displaying the machine's start and end times. So like I said, I can do this in 4 different part counters, but it's given me a remaining time left there on the screen. I've got my start time, my end time, and then a percentage. So I know that I have 5 minutes left before I need to get back here and change out parts, or I've got 5 minutes left to, I don't know, go up to the office and flirt with that cute accounting girl, whatever. So that's what that cycle time monitor can do for you. I've got tool data info, so tool shape, edge angles, sticking out distance, offsets, anything you want to see from that from your current tool, excuse me. I've got a whiteboard. This is another cool feature. So I have the ability to take screenshots of anything on the screen and then save them. So I can take a screenshot, or I can just write notes with a stylus and put them up on the screen. This was really great for me because I keep telling you we have these manuals included with OSP Suite. Well, I was always referencing this certain section of a manual. So after a while, I was lazy. I just got tired of going to that manual shortcut, which was right on the same page. I just took a screenshot of that section of the manual and put it right there on the screen. So I didn't even have to go to the shortcut to access that section of the manual. I literally just took that screenshot and it was there on the screen whenever I brought it up. I can also do type messages as well. So if I didn't want to, write the message by hand, I can use that keyboard to type a message, maybe to the next operator, letting him know what's going on with the machine. And all of these messages, these notes, are just stored in the MD1 directory. So we have a Windows-based platform, just like your PC. You can access these from the MD1 folder and export these as well. I've got setup data, so I showed you that STL Viewer, that 3D viewer. This is how I would access that, or any other information that I have stored in a directory. So I've got part, jig, setup information here, tooling data. So what I could do is have my machine set up to some kind of network, to a shared folder, and I could provide this information to my setup guys quickly and without, hauling down a big packet of paper. So I could shoot all this down to the machine, and they could have this information ready to go for my job. And again, that's how I would access that 3D model viewer as well. A power monitor. Now this is included with our EcoSweet package, which is also included with Sweet, and this is going to display your instantaneous power, the total power used by the machine. So I see here from this graph that I've got peripheral equipment attached to my machine. I see my main and sub spindles, their total power consumed. Total right now you see in the middle is 6.5. Now this is instantaneous power, so this is constantly changing depending on the loads of your axes. But this allows you to take all these power consumptions and export your real power savings with our EcoSweet package, which I'll tell you about here in a second. But this is how you're going to view that total power being consumed by your machine or by different machines across the board. Another thing that you would want to export via MT Connect, or however you want to export your information back up to your desk in the office. So that EcoSweet package is our energy saving technology, and what this is going to do, I just told you about that little widget for the instantaneous load. Well, this EcoSweet package allows you to monitor that. So I have the ability to turn on and off all of these non-essential pumps, conveyors, lights, all of this different equipment that I don't need when I'm not machining. So after the machining has commenced, I can set this up to automatically shut off all of this extra equipment that I have connected to my machine or inside the machine, and it just shuts all that off automatically. So after that happens, you'd see that load monitor decrease, and then you can actually see the savings that you get from this EcoSweet package, right? So I have 10 machines, 20 machines on the floor, and think about how much power you're actually just wasting by having them fully on and all of this equipment on that doesn't really need to be. I don't need to have that coolant pump running 24/7 when I'm only actually cutting, 20 hours, 18 hours a day, right? Chip conveyors, different things. And this allows me to go in and set timers on how long I would like to wait to shut off that equipment. So I can do this automatically here in the control, or there's a physical button. You see that energy savings technology verbiage down there in the bottom left. There's a button right there, that Eco button, that I could hit manually to shut off all of that as well. But just the ability to shut off all this equipment automatically is really the key feature here. To go along with our OSP Suite, if you haven't gone to our App Store or know about apps in general, so behind our open architecture, it allows us to do things like create apps. Just like you have apps for your smartphone, you can have apps for your machine tool, for our OSP control. So when you get a second, go to myokuma.com. We've We've got, about probably 30 plus. I don't even know now. It's always changing. So many different apps that you can download from your computer and take it from USB right to the control, and you can have an app on your machine in less than 5 minutes. Or if you're connected to the internet already, you can just download it at the machine. But all of these different applications can provide, just really quick, productive ways for you to increase productivity in general in your machine tool. So if you have any questions on apps or the App Store in general, please let us know and check out the website. But there's a lot of really useful apps. Like I could download an app that is called Machine Alert. So anytime my machine is in an alarm state, I would get a notification via text message or email letting me know that alarm on the machine. And that's just one example of some of the apps that we have on our App Store. I'm not going to go through all of them, but there's quite a few useful apps that we have customers downloading every single day. But that's our App Store. That concludes my presentation for today. But thank you so much for watching. I think we're going to field some questions right now.
Yeah, hi, this is Mike Anderson jumping in again, everybody. So thank you, Brad, for that very informative session. We did receive some questions, and it would be nice to get to all of them before our time is up. Looks like we have plenty of time, but do remember that if we run out of time before addressing every question, the unanswered questions will be forwarded to Brad and Okuma America, and a response will be forthcoming to whomever asked it. So, Brad, let's get started. And the first question is a good one. And somebody asks, what does OSP actually stand for?
That is a good question. OSP stands for Okuma Sampling Path.
Okay, Okuma Sampling Path. That's an easy one. All right,
yeah, right.
And here's another one. Because you can allow 3 operators to have access to the machine information, can you password protect by operator?
That is actually another app that we have on our App Store. I think it's called View Control. So basically you could download that app. And by the way, all these apps that we have in our App Store are free. You don't have to pay for these. I know some of the apps on your smartphone you have to pay for. If you go to our App Store, all of those are going to be free apps that you can download and take to your machine. So that View Control app is going to let you password protect, all of your different operators or users, however you want to, view that. But you can basically select the pages they can and cannot access once they are logged in as operator A, B, or C. So that's an app on our App Store called View Control. Good question.
Okay. Here's another one. Yeah, this is interesting. This says, if Okuma makes all of the components in the system or machine tool, how does this affect the availability of parts 5 years down the road and after 10 years down the road?
We design all of the components inside our machines. We have various distributors that we work with throughout the country and throughout the globe, and we all have parts stocked up that we can provide to our customers through our distribution or here in Charlotte. So wherever you're at in the country, we do have the ability to provide you with all of these components that you may need.
Great.
Yeah, we also have a spindle rebuild section of our plant here in Charlotte, and we have a board repair as well. So let's say you get a lightning storm and you fry the motherboard, you could send that to us right here in Charlotte, and we'll get you one that we either have in stock, or we could repair that one, tell you what was wrong with it, and ship it right back to you. So you're not, going to Japan to do that.
Fantastic. Okay. Here's another one. Can OSP Suite be retrofitted on an older machine?
Yeah, good question. OSP can be retrofit on all P300 controls. So as long as you have a P300 control, the L for lathes, M for mills, S for multitasking machines, OSP Sweet will also eventually be on our grinders. But yes, it can be retrofit on a 300 control since it's just a software package.
Okay. Now, Brad, we got information during the presentation that for at least some of our audience, the background music in the video that we showed wasn't muted, even though we thought it was muted at our end. So what we thought we would do, if it's cool with you, we're going to try again, and we think we have it muted, and maybe you could walk us through the video a second time. It looks like we have plenty of time. So shall we fire it up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here we go, and I'm going to turn it over to you then.
Okay, great. Okay, so this specific video, I'm demonstrating the sequence restart function and then also the mid-auto manual mode. And these are standard features, standard buttons that you'll see on our controls. So right now you see I'm just doing a rough turning process right here. Right, so once I'm turning, I'm going to manually interrupt the cycle. Maybe I need to check my insert or something. So I go into feed hold, and then I select this mid-auto manual button. Oh. Restarted.
All right. Okay. Well,
it's okay. This is a 300L control. It's not gonna play for me, is it?
No. It looks like for whatever reason we're having trouble with the music on the video. So.
Okay. Well, I'll just if you want me to, I can describe it. Quickly without the video. Basically what mid-auto manual mode is going to do is going to allow you to interrupt your cycle and then return back into that cycle while maintaining your modal commands. So in the video I was going to show you physically retracting your axes, and then you hit sequence restart, which is going to take you right back into the cut, and after I do that I just have to hit cycle start. So it's very easy for me to check inserts or perform whatever work I want to after I've retracted my tool to a safe position. I go right back into that cut. With 2 button pushes, I'm right back into my automatic process there. So that's what the sequence restart and mid-auto manual functions can do for you on the controls. And they work with lap cycles as well. So if I was milling, if I was on a vertical and milling apart and I had drilled 50 holes and I need to return back to the 49th hole, I don't want to run this complete cycle all over again and air drill all of these holes. Or what if they were tapped? I wouldn't be able to do that. If I want to go back into that 49th hole, I can use this sequence restart function to do that and select which hole I would like to return to. So those are just a couple of examples of how you can use that sequence restart feature and the mid-auto manual feature on our control, and those are standard.
Okay, great. Well, that's again, I apologize to everybody about the sound problem there, but we'll try and get that figured out. We do have time for yet a couple more questions, though, so why don't we go back to that? And here's a question that asks, are App Store applications specific to P300 control, or are they backward compatible to P200 controls?
So as long as you would download the most recent app on our App Store, they would be backward compatible to older controls, but it is with P controls in general. So 1, 2, 3, you couldn't go back to, like a U control or something like that. So you can download Scout, which is our compatibility output utility. And if you download the newest version of Scout right now, that would tell you which apps would be able to run on that specific machine. So what that's going to do, as soon as you execute that file on your machine, that's going to let you know which apps you can run right there on that machine. Or if you can't run that specific app, it's going to let you know why you can't. So it'll tell me, oh, you need to update your API, or this specific app requires hardware to operate on your machine. So download that Scout app, S-C-O-U-T, and that will tell you which apps can run on your control, no matter which P control it is.
It sounds like we have an answer for everything. I love it. Here's another question, though, quickly. The question is, can you turn off OSP Suite or deactivate it?
That's another good question. So I've gone through all these useful functions and features that OSP Suite provides, but you're exactly right. What if you wanted to just turn it off? And what if you wanted your P300 control to look like all the other controls on your shop floor that don't have Suite? You can basically just turn a parameter, energize a parameter on the control. It's a power on effective parameter. Once you energize that, you're not going to see OSP Suite on startup. And you can view like a full screen mode of that run screen, and you're not even going to see Suite operating. So you can pretty much turn it off and not ever see it if that's what you'd like. Absolutely.
Okay. And this will be our last question, and we save the last or most obvious for last. And that question is, how much does OSP Suite cost?
Ooh, big one. OSP Suite is free. So we, over the past year, have been rolling it out across our machine models, and OSP Suite is free to use. So you'll start to see OSP Suite, if not now, in the next couple months, coming on all your machine controls, and you don't even need to upgrade software or anything. It just comes free, standard package. Okay.
Actually, one more question did come in under the wire here, and I think we have time.
Mm-hmm.
And the question
Sure.
is, what has happened with MacMan.net and AdMac parts?
Sure. So MacMan.net, we've kind of replaced that with MT Connect for a number of reasons. MacMan.net is still applicable, but what, we're really pushing MT Connect to export all of your data points through MT Connect. It's a free app on our App Store. Like I say again, all these apps are free, right? So with that MT Connect app, I get the agent and the adapter, the ability to talk to my machine, and then export that data, all these XML files, to my PC. The only thing that I'd need after that is some type of application on my PC to view those files. So like I don't know, like a Memex or a Predator or some kind of application to view all of that information. So that's for MT Connect. Like I said, it's free. And the other question, I'm sorry, was about AdMac parts. AdMac parts.
AdMac parts. That's right.
We still do support AdMac parts. If anyone out there has any questions, we do still support it. Right now, we use a lot of 3D VM and AOT, the PC version of AOT, so you can set up your entire process right from your desk and then take those files USB right to the machine. So AdMac is still active. We just we use a lot of 3D VM software, which is our 3D virtual monitoring from your PC, or that AOT PC version, the conversational programming package on your PC. So that's what we've been using now.
Fantastic. Well, we burnt through a lot of questions there pretty quickly, and that's pretty good. And if anybody comes up with any more questions, I'm sure that our friends will be able to answer them by email. But in terms of the ones that we had come in while we've been talking, that exhausted them all. So
Great.
Hooray for us. So a few concluding remarks then, if I may. You should know that, all of you listening, you should know that this entire webinar will be available for replay by 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can access it by using the same sign-in link you used earlier. So if you missed something or if you want to share the good news, feel free to go back to that link, and by 4 p.m. this very afternoon, you can experience the whole wonderful thing again. Now, beyond our webinar series, SME and Advanced Manufacturing Media have a host of ways to keep in touch with the latest developments in manufacturing. For instance, the September issue of Manufacturing Engineering has a software feature by our controls and software editor, Patrick Wozniak, on redefining PLM. And in the upcoming October issue, Pat reports on why manufacturing needs real-time data collection. You'll be able to find those features, plus our monthly software update columns, and all of the latest software and controls news on the Software and Controls channel of our website. And that website is www.advancedmanufacturing.org. In addition, SME events allow you to look at and learn about the latest in manufacturing techniques and technologies. These events include SouthTech in Charlotte, North Carolina on October 27th through the 29th, and FabTech, which returns to Chicago on November 9th through the 12th. And that's all we've got. Thanks all of you for joining us today. We hope you found the presentation informative.